from offending a trans person in the audience.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women.
To Ricky Gervais delivering a bold message to woke Gen Zs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know?
Seems so blissfully ignorant about.
Watch how Ricky Gervais absolutely goes after the public support surrounding Caitlyn Jenner's transition, or should I say, Bruce Jenner's. And believe me, he didn't leave any roast in the chamber.
Relax. I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. And I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did.
So, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, is an Olympic gold medalist who later transitioned, and that's when all the controversy started.
I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big...
Now that the latest climate conference is underway in Glasgow, Scotland, and Greta Thunberg has once again shown the world that she is the conscience of her generation, someone must tell her, you may be the conscience of your generation, but you don't represent it. I really wish you did, Greta, but you don't. But I can show you who does.
And Bill clearly reminded them that the real problem wasn't what they thought it was. It was their favorite celebrity role model, who's basically made up of plastic.
Greta, you have 13 million followers on Instagram, which is great. But Kylie Jenner has 279 million, which is more. I mean, seriously, who is the real influencer in that generation? The model citizen or the model? The young woman who refuses to fly or the one who refuses to fly commercial? You see what I'm saying? Greta gets where she's going on a sailboat powered by the wind. Kylie takes a private jet powered by Exxon.
And from her 18+ drama to her controversial dad that we just talked about earlier, Bill didn't leave anything behind and he went all out.
And she's 21 times more popular. Now, this is not a screed against comfort or capitalism. I'm fond of both. And I give Kylie credit. She's built a massive business empire without ever releasing a sex tape. And like her dad, she's a self-made woman.
And Bill was far from done. He then went after Gen Z, who think their social media stars are exactly how they look online, and pointed out the huge difference between image and reality. And trust me, no one is safe from Bill today.
One of their favorite YouTubers is Mr. Beast, who's famous for stunts like, I gave my 40 millionth subscriber 40 cars. Jason Derulo celebrated his 22nd millionth follower by eating 22 hamburgers. The cognitive dissonance between planet-destroying conspicuous consumption and planet-saving rhetoric is breathtaking.
And later, Bill turned the heat on consumers themselves, people who care more about logos than logic.
You say you love Greta and her message, but everything else you love is a climate disaster. Far from rejecting consumerism, young people are so obsessed with labels that venerable fashion houses like Balenciaga have pivoted from selling couture dresses to rich women to selling baseball hats to teenagers. And where does a 20-something get the money to pay $400 for a hat that borrows the Bernie Sanders logo because...
And by catching these people with straight facts, Bill brings up the Bitcoin receipt topic next.
Oh, and also maybe by trading Bitcoin, the mining of which is worse for the environment than actual mining. Cryptocurrency uses more energy than Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google combined, and more than some entire nations. And yet young people could not love it more if it came with a side of avocado toast. 94% of crypto buyers are either millennials or Gen Z, which makes it ring a little hollow when you're out there chanting for us to put the planet ahead of profit.
And Bill was catching a whiff of hypocrisy from these so-called planet savers who didn't actually care about anything but themselves.
And what do crypto fans say about this? They say, well, yes, it uses too much energy now, but in the future, oh yeah, the future, that's right. Same thing my generation said. Let them handle it in the future. I'll get mine now. Like Bitcoin, the smartphone is a huge contributor to carbon emissions.
And Bill decided to land one last blow on these so-called planet savers, delivering a final roast that completely shuts them down for good.
And yet you would need the jaws of life to pry a phone out of the hands of anyone under 30. What would it take to convince Gen Z and millennials to give up their phones? A pollster once asked. 43% said it would take $5 million to give up their phone. 1 in 10 said they'd sacrifice a finger for it. That deserves a high 4. When Kylie's lifestyle becomes uncool and unpopular, and you stop loving Bitcoin and stop thinking that stuffing your face is harmless, I'll take you seriously. Until then, shut the up about how older generations ruin the planet.
Here's another clip of Gervais explaining how people nowadays are too soft and get offended way too quickly. And in the calm and collected way he says it, without even making a joke, leaves the show host speechless.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing.
And later, Rick explained how he does it for the people, because they deserve to know the truth, even though not many are willing to speak it.
You know, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires. And freedom of speech is so important these days. I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. It's a sin. To joke about all the bad things, that's a waste. Because that's exactly what we should joke about.
Here we are going to see Jimmy Carr roasting Disney for going woke with the latest Snow White movie, and how he swears he'll never watch it.
Did I see the new Snow White? I'm boycotting the new Snow White, my friend. I'm boycotting it. Now, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm boycotting it, because I've got friends that are dwarves. One, that it's a problem. The dwarf community are very upset about the Snow White film because they use CGI nonsense rather than dwarf actors. Basically, they're angry, they're not grumpy.
Here's a female comedian who went completely no filter on Gen Z during her late night shows, sharing her experience with them.
Teach Gen Z, and they're interesting because they'll respect your pronouns but not you as a person. I asked a kid to put his phone away the other day. He told me he was going to find my house and kill me. I was like, dude, that is wild. That you think your teacher can just have a house in LA like that. How are you gonna hate me and believe in me at the same time?
Here's another female comedian who went full-on roast mode on Gen Z for struggling with simple tasks that previous generation did in seconds, leading to hilarious reaction from the crowd.
Gen Z doesn't know how to write a check. They don't know how to address an envelope. They don't know how to read cursive. They don't know how to read a paper map. They can't get anywhere unless there's a GPS map on their phone. All I'm saying is if Gen Z takes over the world, it's gonna be pretty easy to get it back. We're just gonna write our battle plans in cursive on a piece of paper.
Watch how this comedian shares his funny experience visiting the US and how people using different pronouns led him to make some major mistakes.
Arrived here 3 years ago, still learning the language. English is a very difficult language. And you guys make English even more difficult than it should be. I don't know why. I saw the other day a person saying, "Don't call me he or she, call me they." And I was like, what the fuck? It took me 3 years to learn I am, you are, he is, she is. Be whoever you want. This is a free country and this is amazing, but this whole gender neutral pronoun is confusing for me.
And later, he shares a rather embarrassing story of him and his friends on a house party where pronouns led to a major problem.
You know, let me tell you a story. I invited a friend to have dinner at my house the other day. And he was like, "Oh, I'm bringing a friend." And I said, "Of course, bring him." He was like, No. Bring them. So I bought a lot of food. I bought briskets and pizzas and pastas. And my friend showed up at my house with one person. So I said, "Where are they?" And he said, "They are here." So you tell them that they are gonna eat all of this fucking food.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice.
Emotional, damn it!
But I can't say the word faggot. And she said, "Because, David, you are not gay." I said, "Well, Renee, I'm not a nigger either." I'm a jealous husband. It's true. Yeah, let me tell you something. One time I thought my wife was cheating on me. Yes, yes. And I'm embarrassed about it now, but I can talk about it. You know what I did? It's f***ed up, but I did do this. I waited for her to fall asleep. And when I waited a long time, she's Asian. I couldn't tell if she was asleep or not. I was looking at her. And when I was sure she was asleep, you know what I did? I stole the iPhone. Took it downstairs and started trying out passwords to see if I could open it. I couldn't figure out the password. Then I remembered it's iPhone. This has facial recognition. I was just like, oh. And then opened right up. And I saw a text message in there from a fellow named Earl. I don't know anybody named Earl. I woke her up out of her sleep. I said, "Wake the up. Who the is Earl?" And she said, "David, what are you talking about? Oh, don't you play dumb with me, bitch. I done open your phone. Who is Earl?" And she said, "Oh my God, David, that's gay Earl from the hair salon." I said, "Word, what am I, a dummy? How am I supposed to know this is gay?" And she was calm. She said, "Read his text and look at his pictures." I started reading the text. This fella sure does spell girl with a U a lot. And I switched over and looked at his pictures, and I couldn't believe it. This fella looked gay, and still pictures. His mouth was open in every shot. And then I knew she was telling the truth. And then I felt like dumb. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Here, take your phone. I'm sorry, just go back to sleep. All right, I'm sorry. I guess I just been insecure because all this cheating I've been doing. Good night. And she didn't let me leave. She said, well, since you want to wake a bitch up. And then she pulled my phone from under her pillow. I said, what the She said, who is this bitch in this picture? I said, how'd you open that phone? She said, it was easy. All I had to do was mash my nose and go like this. And it opened right up. I said, what the